Hello, friends. I am Geoff Fienberg back with you for 2021 outright PGA Tour selections here on OddsChecker.com/US. Hope everybody had a great New Year. I certainly enjoyed the couple-week decompression of the 2020 PGA season. Not going to lie, wish it was a couple weeks longer, but excited to get back on the horse. 2020, an incredibly successful season for me, both before I teamed up with OddsChecker and after. Consistent winners throughout the season. Let's hope we can do that again. It gets going this week in Kapalua on the Plantation course. We are in Hawaii for the Century Tournament of Champions. Bit of a different format this year. In the past, you had to win a PGA Tour event to be able to qualify for this event, hence Tournament of Champions. The winners from the year before all qualify for a no-cut event. Lots of fun, lots of money. I like to call it a hit and giggle. We'll see a bit of that this week in Hawaii. Instead, we have 42 players here because anybody, because of COVID, who made the final 30 Tour Championship qualify. So we are up to 42 participants this year. Xander Schauffele squeaks in on that. Tony Finau, obviously no wins, squeaks in on that. A guy like Harris English deserves, even though he didn't win, nice to see him get in here, squeaks in on that. Hideki Matsuyama, Scotty Scheffler, and a few more behind the 50-1 number. But let's waste no more time, a little more time. Like, sub, comment. That's the currency. I drop these for you for free. We hit winners together. You sub, like, comment, hit that notification bell, comment. Tell me who you think is going to bring home the trophy on Sunday in Kapalua this week. The Plantation course, Kapalua, Tournament Century of Champions. This is a par 73, nearly 7,600-yard course. Oceanside, Bermuda grass. But guys will score. Our past winners: Justin Thomas, Xander Schauffele, Dustin Johnson, Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth, Patrick Reed. What do you know? Good players win. Well, our Stuart Sinks, Brian Gaze, Hudson Swafford's, Michael Thompson's, Michael Thompson, Jim Herman can't be here. He's got COVID. Well, those guys are here and they collect a free paycheck in a no-cut event. They're not winning. Good players win golf tournaments. That's what's made me successful. Sticking with that. So we're going to stick with that again. But Justin won last year at 14 under. I'm having a bit of a brain cramp on what the weather must have been like, because you got to score in the 20s to win this thing. The mid-20s, literally. Jordan ran away with this thing in 16 with a 30 under. But historically, if you don't clear 20, you're not even going to be sniffing any part of contention. Justin won in that three-man playoff last year versus Xander, versus Reed. I had Reed that day, so that was a bit annoying. But guess what? Let's waste no more times. Here's the pick. Nothing fancy about it. Nothing fancy about it. We are going to the top. No, I am not picking Dustin Johnson, who is absolutely phenomenal. But he's been, I think he's kind of not shut it down, but we're going to just grind that sucker up to get restarted. If Dustin blows us away, we'll accept it. That's part of life. John Rahm, new equipment change. Is what it is. I think, again, we'll see a little bit of time in order to start this thing off. Justin Thomas, on the other hand, plus 750, FanDuel sports bet, my friends. This is where I'm laying my first piece of 2021. It's not quite like how much I'd want to bet on a football game, but for a golfer at plus 750, I go pretty hard. So we are in here on Justin Thomas at plus 750, friends. He's won this thing 2 times. He's come in third in the appearance recently in which he didn't win. I mentioned he won here last year in a playoff by process of elimination of those very, very guys at the top. I like Justin a lot more than Dustin and Rahm. Don't worry, we'll be on them later in the year, I'm sure. Well, maybe not Dustin. His number might never return to bettable as far as I'm concerned. Even Xander Schauffele, who won here a couple years ago, was in that playoff last year. I do respect the books posting him ahead of Bryson. Had the books given us something fancy, I really could have been interested in Schauffele. I might even argue, to me, he's the guy I most fear while going to the wall with Justin Thomas this week. You could probably argue, why would I fear Xander more than the other guys? I'm not really sure, but he seems to really like it here. He's got his no-cut event swag, but for me, it's absolutely Justin Thomas, guys. 5th at the Masters in November, 12th at Mayakoba in December, and then he ran absolute train on a bunch of old men and their sons at the Father-Son Challenge. I'm not going to put too much weight in that. I made enough jokes about that. Hopefully that was just something Justin wanted to do with his dad. He better not ever show up again. They should send Vijay Singh's kid a trophy. He lost, like, Vijay and his dad, Vijay and his son lost to the number 3 player in the world at an event he shouldn't even have been at. It's not fair. Anyhow, my point is, Justin has been playing competitive golf. So I think we're going to continue this on a course he's comfortable with. Well, Justin, well, John, one's going through equipment change, one's making sexy TikToks with his wife and enjoying the splendor of being a Masters champion and a legend and a hero of mine. And his in-laws, he's a Gretzky, married to Paulina, son-in-law of Wayne. Enjoy Christmas. Enjoy your New Year. It looks like they did if you follow the TikTok. So for me, it's Justin Thomas. I don't really need to, I feel like I've even said too much about a player this good. I don't really need to teach you anything about Justin that we don't already know. But dominant in no-cut events. 9 of his 13 PGA Tour victories have come in no-cut tournaments. His last 5 consecutive victories have all come in short fields. And again, a 2-time winner, easy. Justin Thomas. I did a rant. Maybe I should have ranted on the guys that I'm paying more or getting bigger numbers at. You might need to be sold on them more. But sorry, I really do like Justin Thomas this week, if you couldn't tell. Plus 750 at FanDuel. I use the OddsChecker grid. That's the number I'm smashing. Sticking on FanDuel, I'm just going to lump these guys together. I am. Different reasons, but I'm lumping them together. So we can get out of here. You can make your bets. We can win some money. Colin Morikawa, 30-1 on FanDuel using the OddsChecker grid. Daniel Berger, 32-1 on OddsChecker using, on FanDuel using that OddsChecker grid. Hey, I guess it's a sponsored by FanDuel week. I don't know. I just play the best numbers. I just promote what OddsChecker grid is telling us. It's an easy way to see the lines across all the sites, and we find that best number because when we hit a winner, we want to get paid out the most because these things are sweat jobs, sweating through these golf tournaments. Speaking of which, tropical Hawaii, we get to watch late night golf here on the East Coast. I'm pretty excited about that. So Morikawa, I think this number is incredibly fair. This number essentially flirts with what he is in major championships, and it's a tournament of champions. He played here last year because he won some muck event before his iconic 2020. So he's not a first-timer because first-timers don't really have a history here. So I like that about Morikawa. You could dominate this course from anywhere. Short hitters, long hitters, preferably it's an approach course, 100, 125 yards and in. But Morikawa can get to his sweet spot and he can deliver anytime there's an iron in his hands. His lack of driving distance doesn't matter. Daniel Berger, 32-1, FanDuel using the OddsChecker grid. I like this pick a lot as well. I thought I might just pick one of these guys. I said, screw it. We're going to pick 2 of them, both of them. Berger, I think this number is incredibly strong. I'm so high on Daniel Berger. I think he's going to continue to have a great year. To me, the Berger we saw in 2020 before COVID, out of COVID, that is Daniel Berger. The Berger that battled through a wrist injury and went away for a little bit. That is the outlier. The norm is Daniel Berger, who will contend for USA Ryder Cup, who will contend for USA President's Cup on a yearly basis. By that, what does that mean? That makes you an all-star, in my opinion. Daniel Berger is a trending all-star. I think he's going to have an incredible year. My point is, the norm for Daniel is to be at an all-star level. The bad Daniel to me is the outlier. Excited for a big year for Berger. I trust Berger and Morikawa if they get head-to-head versus Justin Thomas, versus a Jon Rahm, versus Dustin Johnson. Justin Thomas plus 750, Daniel Berger 32, Collin Morikawa 30. Coincidentally, all on FanDuel. I'm using the OddsChecker grid to get the best number on all of these guys. I'll be back later in the week breaking down some NFL football. And starting next week, I'll be doing 2 golf videos a week. We'll be doing the outrights and we'll give a little props, but such a short field. I just gave y'all what I got this week. I'm not really going to be invested in the proposition wagers on tour. That being said, if I get good numbers on Justin versus Dustin, I'm going to play that in a head-to-head. And if I get numbers I like in Dustin versus Jon Rahm, I'm going to play that in a head-to-head. I really do think Justin is at an advantage this week versus those other guys. He's in that tight pocket of super elite here with. I'm Geoff Fienberg. Let's have an amazing 2021 PGA Tour outright season. Thank you, OddsChecker. Thanks to all you out there. Like, sub, comment. May the winners be all of ours, as my great friend Morency would say.